Hi again everyone. It's been a few months since my last video, but today we're taking a look at the new Edifier earbuds, which seem to be confusing and they're flooding the market with a lot of them. I'll just give you a quick run through of what the new models are. So we do have a bunch of new models here that are pretty much the same as the previous versions, so they are like variants, like special editions for China or whatnot. So here, for example, we have the Edifier TOU. Basically, if you look at the specs here for the sensitivity chipset, all of that, it's basically the same as a TWS one. You can see there from the appearance here that we've got. Basically, it's the same, just a bit cosmetically different. And the same applies with, if we scroll down here, we'll find, I think it's a W freeze. It might not be this website actually. I'll scroll through to the other ones. Just give me a second. Yeah, W freeze here. So these are TWS ones that are customized again. Basically Marvel Edition if you're into that. So you got Iron Man, Captain America, as you can see. Now onto the new ones that we've got. So Edifier have released a bunch of new earbuds in the last 2 to 3 months. Initially we had the Edifier Lollipods announced in China. So here they are here, and they have Qualcomm chipset. I think it's the QCC 3020 or the 3026, one of them. Basically comes in a few colors. They're 13mm drivers. Oh, there it is, 3020 QCC 3020 aptX, LDS laser for better pairing, etc. And the specs down here, 96 decibels for the sensitivity, which sits between the TWS 2s at 94 and the TWS 1s at 98, and the impedance is 28, so close to 32, so it's probably close enough there. Like I said, we've got aptX SBC there, Bluetooth 5. Now these are known as the TWS 200s for the international market, so they're exactly the same here as you can see on this website, just marketed as such there. As you can see, it's a little bit confusing. Then we have the TWS 6s announced, which have the BA drivers, the balanced armature drivers, for the better sound quality for the mids and highs. I think they're purely balanced armature drivers. They don't have any dynamic drivers. So the bass is probably still be there, but not as strong as, say, a dedicated graphene or neodymium driver there, or even a hybrid driver which has the balanced armature plus maybe a dynamic driver in there with the neodymium or the graphene or other materials. This has been covered on YouTube already by a few channels. So we've got the same Qualcomm chipsets. Oh, and we've got tips this time as well, the wing tips for better fits for when you're running or at the gym. Here we got sensitivity 98, so that's the same as the TWS ones I'm using at the moment. 8 hours on a charge plus 24 charging case. So they're pretty much the same as what we have already with the other Edifier chipsets, pretty much 8 and 24s for the battery life, and yeah, it looks nice. They are balanced armature drivers from Knowles. Probably won't be looking at those for review because if it's lucky on base, then I'm probably not as interested in it, and it's not really that much different. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got the TWS NBs, so I do have these in for review very soon. We've got aptX These ones come with active noise cancellations A and C. So it's not passive noise reduction, it's actually active to block out the sound. As you can see here, we've got three modes. We've got active, we've got passive, and we've got ambient sound. So we can let in some sound midway and then block it all together. AptX, much the same, and it says it lasts up to 11 hours on a single charge, plus an extra 22 from the case. So that's 11 hours with active noise cancellation off. And we've got a 13mm graphene diaphragm drivers. So this new generation is probably stepping up in terms of the drivers, whether they're using balanced armature or hybrids, which is a mix of balanced armature plus dynamic drivers, and then that battery life drops from 11 to 5 hours, I believe, down here. Noise if you have the active noise reduction on. So 5 and then 10 from the charging box, obviously, because they are dropped. So this is promising for me. This is why I've got them as well, because not only the active noise cancellation, but the sensitivity has dropped down to 94, and we're back up to the impedance of 32 ohms. So that matches what the TWS2s had, which I quite liked, and I found to be the best audio quality for bass heads, basically. The only problem with that is that it was early last year's model, sorry, and it had the older, it's a Realtek, I think it was, AB1526P chipset, so it only lasted about 3.5 to 4 hours as opposed to the new Qualcomm 3020 or the 3026 chipsets. Going back to what else Edifier has released in the last couple of months, so they've released a few over-the-ear Bluetooth earbuds, as you can see here, plus a bunch of over-ear headphones. But the other perler that we've got, just let me get there first, is we have two gaming marketed TWS earbuds from Edifier. We have the GM4 and the GM6. So the GM4, couldn't find much materials except here on Joybuy, is as you can see, they've got RGB lights, so Christ, I might pick one up just for that. The curious thing about the GM4s here is that it's got the PixArt PAU160X chipset, so we only get about 3.5 to 4 hours battery life, per charge before having to put it back in the charging case. It's probably due to the fact that it's not a Qualcomm chipset, and it's interesting because PixArt usually makes optical mouse sensors, so if you've got, I think the Corsair gaming mice use them, and a few other brands as well. So we've got the RGB lights here, and I believe it uses aptX, which is good to see at least, even if we don't get the battery life that we're after. They do look a bit like AirPods rip-offs a bit, much in the same vein as what the Lollipods or the TWS 200s as are known in the international market. I can't read Chinese, but not sure if you can change the actual color or not, or if it's just stuck to that bluish green. But yeah, 4 and 12, they do look pretty snazzy there. And going down to the all-important, there you go, impedance 32, and we've got 95 decibels, which isn't, for sensitivity, which isn't that bad actually, and a 5.8mm driver, so much the same as the TWS1, TWS5, and the TWS6, I think, so they're all about the 6mm drivers. So on the smaller side compared to the 13s that we're starting to see, 13mm drivers that we're starting to see pop up, but look at these cases here, pretty cool there with the black, and then we've got gold, and then we've got white there. Probably go for the black myself, because the white, you can't see much with that light there. And we do have the GM6, which was shown off at CES 2020 in Las Vegas, I believe. I haven't seen much press material on it, funnily enough, but Yeah, these seem to have a bit worse specs actually in terms of sound, but we do have the Qualcomm 3020 chipset, which is good for battery life here. 16 ohms and 98 decibel sensitivity, so a bit worse off. 6mm haptics, SBC, just the usuals. And the battery life here, 7 hours plus 14 from the case, so this is definitely better for battery life, but again, you're trading off a bit of sound quality, again with the sensitivity and all of that, and the impedance as well. So, but we do have, yeah, we've got a bit more RGB on these ones. So not only are they on the actual earphones themselves, they're on the case as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they can be customized to anything other than the aqua blue color there. Also with the TWS NB, I must mention before wrapping up this video, is that it does have a dedicated audio app which you can turn the cancellation, active noise cancellation, and a few other things on and off. I'm not quite sure that it has a you can modify the equalizer like you can on some other brands like Soundpeats, but yeah, it is interesting to see where they're going with this, and I hope this video makes a bit more sense of the newer TWS earbud models from Edifier. I deliberately haven't covered the gaming headsets and all of that, and the actual Bluetooth earphones, normal cabled earphones, just to keep things a bit more simple, and yeah, just a reference point for myself as well, because it's getting a little bit too confusing with all the new models that Edifier is releasing. So thanks again for watching my video and all the other videos on the Edifier TWS earbuds. I'll be getting the TWS NBs in very soon, and I'll be reviewing them. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.